All right, I think we should be live right now. So, uh, hello everyone. Welcome to season 2, tier 2, round 8. I think this is of the T2 championship because, of course, we did not have Silverstone for T2 due to timing constraints with the real life GP. So, hopefully, we'll get around to running that extra race for T2 sometime. But for now, um, it's me, Vifix, joining you guys at Spa Francorchamps to take you through what should be a thrilling day or of action. Hopefully, um, yeah. If you have tuned in, just let me know you're out there. Just a solo job in the comms box today, as I already see a decent car, an Alpha Tauri, because there's no way that car should be like that. But if it was, then uh, yeah, welcome DJ Mario for that race suit. Not much damage was caused to this game. So dry quali, here at Spa. So we're gonna be seeing some thrilling racing tonight. I feel like. Um, but yeah, if I had a co-commentator with me, this is probably the point where I'd turn to him to ask him his opinion, but I don't. So you're just gonna have to hear a whole lot of this for the next hour and a half. Hopefully, I don't sound too grating, but let's see. Um, so far in terms of the championship here, we have Chips Chima, who is leading. He has 71 points in this championship. He leads from Quick Killer by. He has 108 points in the championship. Sorry, um, slip of the tongue there. He leads Quick Killer by 36 points right now. There's a 1 point gap between Mayank and Quick Killer. Then, so there's still a long way to go in this championship, of course. So a lot of things can happen. But it'll be interesting to see how the drivers cope with this track. A lot of them would have done this track a lot by now, so they would have their reps in right now. So it'll really just be about solidifying their approach through the lap, and I expect a high degree of competition. And if you will remember that Chip Shima and Kalyan Verma both have quali bans from the last race, which was in the Hungaroring, and on cue Chips retires. So yeah, there's definitely something to watch out for. The championship leader fighting from the back, quite a packed grid as well. 19 cars, quite narrow at the start of the lap. So we'll see what happens. But in terms of lap times, who's on the lap right now? I see Hazard there on a lap. Duncan I think this is first race in tier 2. No, he was there in Hungary. So no, forgive me for that one. But yeah, so coming from tier 1, so there will definitely be we'll definitely have to watch out for him. But meanwhile, where are the lap times? So I think Thakura is the furthest along his lap right now. Does he take that esports line through on the approach to Puwan through that corner with no name, as it is so belovedly called because it has no name. Um, but yeah, let's just see what the early run through of the order will be in qualifying right now. Everyone will just be looking to get a lap in, get a safe banker in right now, and maybe push harder towards the end. There's definitely a lot of time to be found through track evolution here on this track because of the long twisty turns, and Smith Shah is taking a trip on the gravel. On the runoff, sorry, and I think as any Aston Martin fan would be sick of seeing their cars not on the actual racetrack itself at this point this weekend. But you know, uh, there's good days and bad days for people in racing, so let's just wait and see how this all works out. Thakura, meanwhile, as I was saying, that does a 43.9, which is a solid banker. So you should definitely, as Dunkin' Donuts, is the first one to clip that inside curb at Puan. I think that is what the mistake was, as URL Pradeep's Alpha Taurus also crashed out on the corner with no name. So this track very unforgiving. Sid Venkatesh is taking the real life approach where you just try and straighten out the corner as much as you can. So we already have two spinners near that sector 2 region with the twisty corners. So this is gonna be interesting. Captain Hinkle meanwhile did set a 44.5, so he'll be happy with that for now. Only 3 lap times on the board so far, as Malav, I'm pretty sure he's invalidating these on purpose, because I did see that 45.6 right there. Sid Venkatesh meanwhile, thank you for informing me, by the way, Sid, that the race was going to be dry. No, yeah. It's much appreciated. He does 30.4 through the first sector. Quick killer now on the straight. Is he on a lap? Yes, he is. And so is Malav. And it says he did a purple first. So this vintage player is being really strong in his outlap for some reason. Is he run out of fuel? No, that matches base. Actually, I don't know what that is. I have no clue. But ooh, did that hamper Sid Venkatesh's lap? There's a car on the inside wall there near. So doesn't Aston Martin, I think. No, it was the Alpha Town. A lot of cars having to make way. No one wants to give tow down the Camel Straight, so they're just giving way to each other. And of course, you wouldn't want to give tow to anyone because it's such a serious advantage. As I see the Aston of Thakur is run out of fuel. So he definitely needed to plan that better. It's going to be a long, painful way back for him right now. As Smith does set aside his early run into the runoff to set a 144.6. Meanwhile, Duncan, I think he's just getting his bearings, gotten his bearings in now, and he is on lap as well. Sid Venkatesh is 45.3, so varying fuel loads maybe for the cars as well at this point. This is one of the tracks where the minimum fuel is not enough to get you back. For you to do an entire out lap, do a hot lap, and then come back in, as evidenced by Thakurva. Hopefully Thakur didn't hold anyone up, because that would be bad. Look at Sid Venkatesh, he's trying to take all of the tow there. Smith Shah would not have wanted to give that away, but did Sid compromise his entry by going so far offline. But right now things are looking rosy for Thakur, as Duncan is about to cross the line now. Let's see what he can set. He does 44.7, and I think those are a set of scrub tires at this point. So that is a good enough lap. And Malav has done a 53.5, you can beat me. So I think he's definitely backing off at some point in this lap, because there's no way that that first sector time should be that far off the pace. Meanwhile, vintage player, the man who is so very consistent in the races, he's always manages to pluck his way from the midfield. Our resident chase cam driver, as Quick Killer gets out of the way there. So much action right now. When a couple of guys haven't even come out yet to do a lap. You have Legend Rhino coming out right now in 13th. Abhi in 15th, Naismith 16th, Hazard 17th, Pradeep 18th, and Indian Gamer 19th. So those guys have not done a lap, as vintage player has spun it on Puan. That is not what he would have wanted to see. Meanwhile, let me just, as there is a bit of a lull period on track right now. As we're watching Smith Shah go through this, the Camel Straight, he definitely looks in quite good stead right now. The Smith, of course, he was one of those people who switched from pad to wheel, and it can be a very difficult transition. But as Easy Level Bot does set the new benchmark at a 43.8, so Easy Level Bot also a race, more of a race driver than a qualifying driver. more of a race driver than a qualifying driver, I would say. Um, but so far, if you do well in qualifying, doesn't necessarily mean you'll do well in the race. But if you can get a clean run away, it he will find it very he will find it a lesser of a chore because he won't have to make those overtakes from the back like he normally has to. Um, as Sid Venkatesh going into the gravel there to avoid getting in the way of other cars. Only 9 people have said a lap so far, which is surprising to me since like 95% of the qualifying is already over. So I really don't know what is actually happening here right now. Maybe trying to bluff people into starting on fresh tires, but uh, I really don't see that much of an advantage of that in Belgium since the DRS slipstreaming is so overpowered here. You can easily run away from someone, even if you have one tires. If you're just tucked into the DRS zone, to the DRS of someone, or the slipstream even. Um, I really don't see a point in not setting a qualifying lap. I know a couple of guys have spun, so we should definitely see more than 9 times on the board right now. And Malav's time is not even a representative time because that is his race run as he normally does. So we're looking at the likes of Vintage Player, Quick Killer, Abhi, Legit Rhino, these guys who have not set a lap yet. And ooh, as soon as I see has a spin there. Uh, but yeah, we're definitely looking towards them to set a lap. Uh, and Right now, oh, and as soon as I say that, Digit Rhino does was 7th fastest, and Smith Shah then does fastest overall again. So he's moved the goalpost by another 2 tenths. But will he have enough time to come back and do another run? Because the track will evolve by the time the next 3 minutes go by, which is around the time that'll take him to come back. I feel he should have enough time, as Thakurva, his teammate now for this week, goes through that first sector and he's up by a lot. So he just seems to have a lot of pace right now. Thakura, shout out to him for doing comms yesterday, holding down the fort while a lot of our regular commentators were unavailable. So good on you for that. And I think the racing gods are blessing him right now with the pace that he has. Uh, that was on our Twitch channel. That the yesterday's race, but that will be uploaded back onto the YouTube channel shortly. It was quite an exciting race, not for me personally, but the battle there was a good battle for the lead. So you guys should check it out if you have the time. Even with the game doing everything in its power, as Sakura is absolutely eating these sector times alive right now. What can he do through this last sector now? It's so easy to mess up because you've done all the hard work and you just have to break in for bus stop properly. And sometimes that can go against you, against the grain. Really, you've done such a good job. You can easily mess up at the simple part, but he pretty much taken it perfectly. As perfect as it gets. Bit of a slide out of that corner, but it's not going to matter. It was 43.3, and that will be a solid benchmark, I think. Even though he's probably not going to get to do his last run, but when your lap is as good as that, I really don't think you need to come out again. Meanwhile, Abhi is just out on track and has had a couple of spins, so he is still there. Quick Killer is still in the garage, um, and I understand that. Anyway, meanwhile, Naismith, he's also making his return. He was a former T1, so let's see what he can do here. uh, as Naismith does go back into the pit, so he's definitely doing everything for his last run now. It's a smart move as well. That lap didn't look like anything special, and I know he can do much better than that. So it's best to just don't even crash at Eau Rouge or just quickly going really slow. Um, yeah, that was very awkward. Very, very awkward moment there. I don't understand what's happened, but yeah. When Easy Level Bot is on his outlap, so I think right now this is the calm before the storm of the guys who can take pole. I think it's down to Easy Level Bot right now since Smith-Shah is in the pits. He's probably the only one. The others will improve by quite a lot. They're really willing to risk that much of their lap to try and get into to to try and get the P1 when they could perhaps do a safer lap to consolidate their positions. And you have to think about it tactically in qualifying, of course, because you're not always going to have the luxury to have pole on a race weekend. So you just have to maximize your qualifying. And some of these guys might be running more race-friendly setups as Mayank. Only just a 30.6 to the first sector, and he's been really rapid as of late in other leagues. So that is a bit of a shock from him that he's around 6 tenths down in just sector 1 alone. Uh, and meanwhile, now we once again go with Easy Level Bot through Radion and through Eau Rouge as I see the Alpha Tauri of Naismith there, giving him a nice greeting. What can Easy Level Bot do? What can Sid Venkatesh do? He's almost done his lap. What is Easy Level Bot's time? A 30.2 through that first sector. Now, don't look at the timing screen and when it goes purple. React viewers, because the game is very bad at telling us. Bad is a bit of an understatement, but it's the most politically correct word I can use here. At telling us when someone actually has the fastest sector time. So don't read into that. Just read into the delta that's shown on with accordance to the timing. So Easy Lalbot was a 10th up on his own time, so that's first sector as we saw. And meanwhile, Sid Venkatesh should go P4, so that should get. Will that stay safe? Hazard, meanwhile, in all of this somehow went P5 at some point in time. Mayank goes P7, so it's a good recovery from him. Meanwhile, Easy Lalbot is 2 times up, so this will be looking to challenge Smith Shah for P2, but Smith Shah just about, I think he's crossed the finish line with enough time to spread to do a qualifying run. Easy Level Bot, now what can he do? This is it for his qualifying. Bit loose through that last, and he's lost it by 1,000 to Smith Shah. That tiny moment, meaning that Smith Shah now knows that Easy Level Bot's not going to beat him, so he might as well go for pole. So then we're going to see a bit more of a riskier lap than probably if he was P2. If he was P3 right now, if he'd been pipped by Easy Level. But that is, I think Easy Level Bot will be disappointed. I think he had it quite nicely hooked until that last corner. And if you would just enlighten me for a second to see where Thakur was gaining time on these guys, you can see it that Thakur is just so much faster in that first sector than Smith Shah. He's a 10th up on him. And an Easy Level Bot through the middle sector, he has another 10th. And then through that last sector, he has a 10th and a half, or near 2 tenths on Easy Level Bot, which is quite extraordinary when you consider it's really just one corner, one chicane rather. Meanwhile, Smith Shah goes purple in the middle sector. This is gonna go for a grandstand finish. I think for any Aston Martin fans, you guys should be tuning in here. I don't think I don't think this is a hot take that you guys are gonna see much better performances from your team in real life this season. Meanwhile, something that I failed to notice for a time was that Malav and Duncan Jones had the exact same lap time, but I think Malav's just gone and about improved to P5. Smith Shah now, he goes on pole. He has done it. He's taken advantage of the quick, fresher track conditions, and he gets pole by just over a 10th on Thakurva. That's a good lap, but judging from their setups, I can guess that Thakurva is running very lesser front wing than him, because Smith Shah did lose around the 10th, I think, in that last sector. Let me just try and test that. You go and look through it, but let's just compare sector times. I think that was a two-man qualifying right there. 44.6 through the last sector, 28.5 and 28.429. So he did lose over a tenth in just that last sector. Now, Smith Shaw will have to break DRS here, in my opinion, if he really stands a chance. Because even if Thakur was driving a tenth or two slower than him, he's gonna have a very good chance, Thakur, to just keep up with him on the straights. But it is Smith Shaw, Thakur, easy level, Sid Venkatesh, you can beat me. Has a captain Hinkle, Mayank, Duncan Johnson, Indy Gamer as a top 10. Legit Rhino is the first man on who has free tire choice. Naismith, Abhi, Abdul Samad. These are the 14 people who did set a lap time, and then vintage play onwards, no one did. So, and I'm just hearing this from race control right now. We will have a new lobby for this race, so let's all sit back and wait for that to happen. And it is raining. It is raining. So, I don't know. I did see some people qualify on medium, so I don't know whether that was a meme strat or not, because everyone would have known it was raining anyway. Um, yeah, that is definitely. Will we get a full wet race, an interchangeable race? This I think for an F1 fan, seeing rain in Belgium right now is mentally scarring. Through that nights will be stayed up, through those nights will be stayed up. Um, to watch this, but yeah. Um, as there are some acrobatics going on there, especially Sid Venkatesh, and it's full wet as well. So that is, oh, that is gonna this is gonna be exciting. It's gonna be fun. Even though it is a lobby restart, and I'm pretty sure Manan is in the wrong car. I don't know whether that's his car for this thing, but yeah, no, he is in the Ferrari. Sorry, I'm just so used to seeing him drive in the other cars, in other leagues. But yeah, it is a wet weather race, so tire choice wouldn't have mattered anyway. So lobby restart doesn't hurt as much for the guys in the bottom 10. Um, But yeah, if someone is watching this stream right now, if you guys can just give me your predictions, it would be very much appreciated. I think this is one of the worst places to get a 1-2, in my honest opinion, for Aston Martin, because if it's an interchangeable conditions list, they're always going to have to be pitting near each other, and that's just going to cost them undue time. So I expect one of them to be on the more aggressive end, as people are leaving the lobby. But we will just stay here just to watch some cars go around a track right now, for no other reason than that. So, and also because I'm pretty sure I haven't received a lobby invite for the next session, and now I have. So yeah, I will see you guys in just the next lobby. If I will ever get an invite to that, which I haven't yet. So, and then we just keep on watching on, and let's see if someone can spring a George Russell style surprise in qualifying here, in the race here. I mean, I know he did it in qualifying, but it's people are gonna make mistakes here, and it's gonna be very, very easy to and just got lost in my train of thought. It's going to be very, very easy to make mistakes. So the guys who can keep it clean, especially towards the back, they will be definitely the guys who are the more advantaged. But yeah, if ever receive an invite, and now I have, so I will join you guys with the smooth ad transition. Just kidding, we're not monetized. We should be, but we aren't. So you know what to do, guys. Hit up the stream with views, get us monetized, and make me and the league some money. Uh, anyway, let's just head over into this new lobby. Come on, Codemasters, do not be a pain right now. Hopefully this invite works, because it doesn't. Might have to start another stream, but I will have to quit the game if the invites aren't working. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna quit the game for now and then just retry it. So
Sorry, man, this is on me.
I'll make a new stream and I'll see you guys in like 5 minutes.